We continue the road trip from Oakland, California, where the Houston Astros are 2-2 so far in the first 4 games of this trip, losing 2 out of 3 in Phoenix against the Diamondbacks and coming up with a huge win last night, 16-2 to kick off this series against the Oakland A's. The Astros come in 7 games over 500. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Todd Callis alongside Jeff Blum. Plummer, great to see that offense rolling last night. Kind of hit and miss in Arizona, but they really came out strong.
Yeah, another first game of a series where they came out and scored a ton of runs. We asked for runs to be scored. They came out and got it done. It was great to see them do it with runners in scoring position. We talked about it during the broadcast yesterday. Kind of middle of the pack as far as runners on base and driving them in, but it was a big night last night, going 7 for 17. Got to give a lot of credit to Marwin Gonzalez and Alex Bregman. They have racked up 6 RBIs with 2 outs, so that's a great thing. And Alex Bregman on the season is a .364 hitter in with runners in scoring position. They didn't have a lot of strikeouts last night, only 4. 3 of them came with runners in scoring position, but a great night overall.
Usually you talk about a 5 RBI night as the lead story, but that was the secondary story last night with Springer doing his thing. Tonight is a really good pitching matchup.
It's a great pitching matchup. Lance last 4 starts have been fantastic, and Sean and I is back here at Oakland Coliseum pitching for the first time since the last time he was in here when he threw the no-hitter.
When we come back, we'll discuss the record-setting night for the leadoff hitter for the Houston Astros, George Springer, with 6 hits in 6 at-bats. Julian Morales with more.
Hard to do it, and I mean, it was fun to hit behind him and watching hit from like so close. So every time he got a hit, of course you're happy. You're happy because he's a great guy. He's one of the best, teammates. He plays hard, so you really want him doing good. He's kind of like, the energy of the thing. If he goes, we all go. So it's fun. And then, it's really good to hit with men on base. So I got 6 at-bats today with him on base. That was crazy. And, it's nothing I can say. Just, that was impressive. That was really good, and I'm happy for him.
What a night it was here in Oakland last night. Never bad when George Springer and Jose Altuve are having 6 at-bats. But what George did with those 6 ABs was absolutely historic and so much fun to watch for everyone that joined us and that was here in Oakland to see it. Jose Altuve loved it. Our Shiner Box Spotlight is going to look at George's night. He is the energy of the team. You heard Altuve say it right there, and led things off for these Astros with that leadoff double, and then kept the train rolling all night long. All those hits seem to just keep things going for these Astros, and they've wanted that offense to get going. The big home run for him was huge as they put up a big lead early. Dallas Keuchel got going. That shows you the impact that George Springer has on the night. He's a triple shy of the cycle, guys, but he told Alex Cintron, the first base coach, I don't really want the triple as much as I just want hits. Well, he got him. He got lots of them, and it's one we're all going to remember. George Springer's going to remember that 6th hit as well as he received the ball right after the game into the clubhouse, but was pretty speechless when spoke to media. This is a guy that doesn't like to talk about himself, so we're going to talk about him during this broadcast. TK and Blummer.
Yeah, we will, Julia. What a night it was. The whole night from the beginning, we talked about the possibility of a cycle because he was 3/4 of the way there in the 4th inning. As it turns out, he would do something that was more than twice as rare as a cycle with a 6-hit game.
I'm with Jose. It was just remarkable to watch, and we were looking so forward to the cycle that he ends up going out there, getting 2 more hits, having a second 5 hit game, and then went ahead and got that 6th one just to cap it off.
Tough customer tonight for the Astros, and George Springer facing the lefty Sean Manaea, and Springer first pitch swinging, fouls one back. Here is the lineup for the Astros tonight with Springer at the top in right field, followed by Jose Altuve. Carlos Correa at short. Yuli Gurriel hits cleanup. Alex Bregman bats 5th and plays 3rd. Marwin Gonzalez tied his career high with 5 RBIs last night. Evan Gattis the DH. Brian McCann behind the plate. And Jake Marisnick bats 9th in center field. George takes one inside. It's 1-1. Love the joy from Jose Altuve and his answer about George Springer's night.
Yeah, he knows how hard it is to go out and get hits on a daily basis, and when you see good things like that happen, he recognized it beautifully.
3rd pitch of the game, Springer is retired for the first time in the series as he flies out to right. And Sean Manaea has been as good as anybody in the league this year.
He is making his 8th start, 4-3 on the season. That 1.63 ERA was a 1.03 for the month of April, earning him Pitcher of the Month honors. Last time he was on this mound, he did have that no-hitter. He is 1-0 against these Astros with a 134 average against them this season.
Misses to Altuve, 1-0. This lineup overall has not hit Manaea even before this year. Overall, they come in with a 203 batting average against Sean, 31 for 153 with 38 strikeouts. What they have been able to do against him is draw some walks. The few times they've been able to score runs against him.
Well, that's really the one difference in Sean Manaea 2018 versus other forms of Sean Manaea we've seen previously is the ability to command.
There's a ball hit well to center field, but Pinder is there and puts it away, going down to a knee. Altuve hitting some tough luck on this trip as he rips one to center, but that is out number 2. Starting defense is presented by Xfinity. You saw Pinder in center. He is flanked by Matt Joyce in left. And in right field, Stephen Piscotty. More on Piscotty later on. Matt Chapman will be over at 3rd base. Marcus Semien at short. Jed Lowry and Matt Olson on the right side of the infield. And Bruce Maxwell behind the plate tonight for Manaea. Carlos Correa bats with 2 outs and nobody on. Takes a called strike. Correa coming in, batting .412 on the road, best in baseball. OPS of 1137 is good for number 3 overall. Correa goes towards the Astros bullpen, and a nice play by the ball boy over there, protecting the Astros relievers, and they appreciate that.
Just a little refresher on what Manaea comes at you with. It's a fastball, 90 to 92 miles an hour, slider, and a changeup.
And he got an award. He got rewarded with a starburst, courtesy of Brad Peacock after that catch. Swing and a miss. Manaea now 13 consecutive no-hit innings in this stadium. And the Astros are down 1-2-3 in the first. For Bob Melvin's Oakland A's today, Marcus Semien will lead things off and play shortstop. He's played every inning this year. Matt Joyce is in left field batting second. Jed Lowry having a great year. He's hitting third. Chris Davis, the DH, bats cleanup. Matt Olson is at first base batting fifth. Matt Chapman sixth. Chad Pinder, Stephen Piscotty, and Bruce Maxwell round out your lineup.
Go Marcus!
Lance McCullers Jr. delivers the first pitch inside to Semien. It's 1-0. Seven for 37 his last 9 games. Semien batting 189 during that stretch. And Lance down to the count 2-0. Lance makes his 8th start of the season. Strike called by Doug Eddings behind the plate. It's 2-1. Two and 2 the count. A's and Astros on a Tuesday night. Astros victorious 16-2 in the opener. And they took 2 out of 3 back at Minute Maid Park in late April. Colors misses and the count goes full. Another nice evening tonight. Probably will get coolish as we get through this game. 63 degrees at the first pitch. That was just missed inside, and Lance walks the leadoff hitter Marcus Semien.
Lance McCullers on the season. You heard Todd say he's making his 8th start. Last time out against the New York Yankees, I really thought he did a fantastic job battling through some errors, some cheap hits that were out there, and went 7 strong. Gave up 3 earned runs, had 5 punch outs, threw 108 pitches in that game, and I think that's a good indication of how AJ feels about him also. He can be a high strikeout guy, but a great number for him to have if runners are on base is at 63% ground ball rate.
Matt Joyce around the bunt with this shift on and bunts through it for a strike. Astros with 3 on the right side of the infield for Joyce. Alex Bregman in and over on the left side. Good to see Lance work 7 innings again in his last start. A season high 108 pitches. He has not thrown that many pitches in a start since the 2016 season, as Joyce takes one on the inside corner. It's 0-2. He's trending now with 3 out of 4, 7 innings.
And it all started with that Minnesota blow-up. Since then, he's been fantastic in those last 4 starts.
One bounces away from McCann, but not far enough for Semien to advance. A's will not run much at all. Simeon tied for the team lead with 2 steals. As a team, they have just 6 steals in 12 attempts.
That's what makes it a little more surprising that he didn't try and anticipate curveball in the dirt with a guy like Lance McCullers, who throws a ton of breaking balls, and try and advance that way. Usually when you're on first base and you're not a base stealer, you can take advantage of gaining 90 feet by anticipating ball in dirt.
Full count walk to Simeon, now 2-2 on Joyce, and he holds up, but that is a strikeout. Called third strike, says Doug Eddings. Joyce goes down looking, and Lance has his first strikeout of the night.
The last time out against Oakland, he did great. It was 7 innings, 0 earned runs, only 2 hits allowed and 7 punch outs. Shadows or not, he was going to go out there and give you the best he's got with that 2-seam fastball. And on this start on the 28th against the Oakland A's, he threw 41 2-seam fastballs. And I think this is where he really started to try and mix up the pitches and bring the changeup into effect. He threw 20 changeups in that outing against the Oakland A's to really put them on their heels and keep them thinking.
It seems like as this pitch gets away from McCann, just going to say, it seems like the confidence is very high in the changeup and keeps growing with each start. That one will be a wild pitch to allow Simeon to go to second base.
Well, throughout the course of the season, there's a predominantly high percentage of curveballs, more so than fastballs and changeups. But in those last 2 starts, going back to that 28th start, is when he really started to mix in that changeup and get heavy on the fastball.
Lowry coming into this game with 48 hits, tied for the most in the major leagues, along with Jose Altuve. And he fouls one out of play.
Got some pitch usage on Lance McCullers. Last start, you see the curveball just under the fastball by a percentage point, but the changeup jumping 11 points. Gives you an idea of how he felt about it, but that is a nice looking peace sign on the right-hand side.
Inside, it's 2-1. Lance facing this team just 10 days ago. It was his only outing of the year where he did not walk a batter. Already has walked 1 in this inning. Simeon, the runner on second base. Lowry the other way. That'll slice into the crowd. It's 2-2. Lance has only pitched here 1 other time, even though he's faced the A's in 5 starts in his career. 4 of the 5 have been at Minute Maid Park, including that one 10 days ago. Pitched against them here in April of last season. Did not go so well. 4 1/3 innings, 5 runs. Second full count of the inning.
Yeah, but I like the attempt on that 2-seam fastball, trying to bring it back in underneath the hands of the left-handed hitter. But this sets up a pretty popular pitch for him, doesn't it?
Yeah, 3-2 to left-hand hitters. Last couple of years, he has thrown that curveball over 90% of the time. There's a curveball. It's sent to right field. Springer is playing right tonight. Tagging at second is Simeon. He'll get to third, and he'll be there with 2 outs. Looks like Lowry was expecting curveball. He hit it pretty well, but hit it at the Astros right fielder.
Good location in. Really couldn't get extended on it. Tried to fight it off.
I'll bring up Chris Davis. Davis has an RBI in each of his last 4 games. And his 30 runs batted in, tied for second in the American League to his teammate Jed Lowry. Colors misses with a fastball, 1-0. A little bit low, it's 2-0. Last night driving in the first run for Oakland on a ground out. Only run allowed by Dallas Keuchel. With Keuchel's 8 innings of 1-run baseball, the Astros starters improved their ERA to 2.34, which is almost a full run better than the next closest team, the Washington Nationals, at 0.88 behind Houston Astros mark of 2-3-4. That one bounces away, and here comes Simeon. McCann will make the throw, but not in time. Wild pitch gets him to second, and a wild pitch scores a first run. That's why it was important Simeon tagged on the fly ball to right.
Lance showing some frustration. He threw a great changeup earlier, actually the pitch before, and then this one just gets away from him and is buried out in front. Brian McCann can't do enough to keep it there and keep that run from scoring.
Ball's hit hard over the head of Springer, and it'll one hop off the wall. Springer plays it well. Davis heading to second, and he will slide in safely with a double. That's his first hit of the season against the Astros. He's now 1 for 14. It is a Tuesday night, which means it is a Twitter Tuesday from the West Coast. Astros After Dark. We're going to ask you this. It's our theme of the night. Were you asleep or were you still awake for George Springer's final at bat when he picked up hit number 6 and made Astros history? You can tweet us a picture of yourself watching the game last night, or just tweet us your thoughts about staying up late when the team's on the West Coast. At ATT Sportsnet SW. At Julia Morales, at Blummer27, at Real Todd Callis.
There should be some good responses. We got plenty last night.
A lot of people late joining us for that broadcast, as it finished just after midnight last night. Matt Olson, the batter. Olson's number is exactly the same as Chris Davis now after Davis's double, 1 for 14 against the Astros this year. And he misses that pitch. McCullers ahead 0-2. So the leadoff walk by Lance ends up scoring. A couple of wild pitches, and then a Chris Davis double. Lance trying to get through the first here. He has thrown 24 pitches, 50% strikes and 50% balls. That ball's into right field. Springer busy in this inning, makes the final 2 putouts. And that'll do it for the A's, but they score a run. It's 1-0.
Friday Night Fireworks presented by Occidental Petroleum will be synced to Todd's iPod featuring 90s pop-themed music after this Friday's Astros-Rangers game. Visit astros.com/Friday nights to get your tickets.
I'll tell you what music I do love, the music they play here.
Yeah, they do a great job. They are fearless in throwing out the jams.
It is really good pregame music. Astros fans appreciate it as well here at Oakland Coliseum, home of Rickey Henderson Field. As we head to the second inning, Astros trying to figure out Sean Manaea. Not many hitters have, especially here in this stadium. Manaea has a streak going right now at Oakland Coliseum where hitters are 0 for their last 43 with 13 no-hit innings. Yuli Gurriel riding a 9-game hitting streak, got that hitting streak in his final at bat in the 9th inning. He was the second batter in the 8th, and he was 0 for 3 at the time, and he drew a walk. Still came around to bat in the 9th and extended his hitting streak.
There's all kinds of good stuff happening last night.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that the guy who's batting third in this inning, Marwin Gonzalez, you barely heard about his game last night.
Yeah, he put up a crooked number in that RBI section.
3 hits, 5 ribbies, and a home run. Outside, it's 2-2. Yuli's the one guy on this in this lineup that's had decent success against Manaea. Again, nobody really has great numbers against Sean. Ball hit hard, and it's scooped by Lowry on one hop, and he makes a fine play. That was rocketed by Yuli, but he's out.
Sometimes on defense, you can go out there and make a great play, and there's also other times where the ball ends up catching you. This is one of those situations because Yuli smashed at it over 100 miles an hour off the bat, and Lowry found himself in a good position to make that short hop catch and throw.
I'll bring up Alex Bregman. Bregman is on a nice little run away from Minute Maid Park. 9 straight games on the road with a hit, hitting .378 during that stretch. This is Manaea's first outing since his no-hitter in this stadium. Astros saw him in his first outing after his no-hitter in that start at Minute Maid Park. He then had one other start in Seattle, and now his first home start since he no-hit the Boston Red Sox on April 21st. Bregman into right field, well struck, has Scotty back, and he'll watch this ball, and it's gone! Alex Bregman hits one out to right field, and the Astros tie the game at 1 on Bregman's 3rd home run of the season.
Nicely done. It's the second time we've seen him go oppo taco, and it is Tuesday, so it's only fitting. That was impressive, and he was one of the guys last night who did a great job in that RBI situation with 2 outs. He had 2 RBIs in 2-out situations. Yeah, he knows it. Let him know. Runners in scoring position for Alex Bregman since moving down in the order, 364. So some serious RBI production when you have the opportunities. He has settled in nicely.
Hit an opposite field home run on Sunday. The only run the Astros scored in that 3-1 loss to the Diamondbacks. Marwin grounds one towards third, picked nicely by Chapman for the second out of the inning.
Back to Alex's home run on our MD Anderson strike zone. Fastball up and away. Alex does a great job of just laying that barrel through the zone. And again, he gets to contact so efficiently when he's going well. And once he gets to contact and gets that barrel to it, he really extends through the pitch. That's where I think he has a chance to be extremely good over the years to come, because there's not a lot of movement pre-swing or pre-contact, and he's so direct to the baseball and really knows how to drive through it. Not large in stature, but he creates a tremendous amount of bat speed getting through the zone.
So that's what you hear when you hear about guys staying quiet.
Yeah, real quiet. Head doesn't move. The hands are nice and quiet. Nice little, just a hitch or a load to get the thing going. but then it's just an absolute direct path to that baseball. Mattress Firm Supermo is going to break that down and slow it down for you really nicely. That is beautiful.
Second career home run for Alex against Sean Manaea. Evan Gaddis takes one outside. It's 2-1. That snapped a string of hitless innings for Sean Manaea in this stadium. He had gone 13 innings plus this inning until Bregman hit that home run. Swing and a miss. Gaddis may have chased a little bit there. It's 2-2.
Is it me, or does Alex only hit homers off of Cy Young Award winning left-handed pitchers? You're pitchers of the month.
Right.
He just finds them at their peak and then just breaks their ego.
Yeah. You're thinking of Sale, Kershaw, Manaea.
Yeah, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
What I love about him, too, is he goes up and down that dugout letting everybody know.
He's not shy. Today's his 38th game for the Astros. Last year on the 38th game for the Astros, he hit his first home run, so he's actually 2 ahead of where he was in Astros game 38 last year. There's a foul at the plate, and it's still 2-2 on Gaddis. Evan with a hit last night. He ended up going 1 for 5. Still battling it right now. 1 for his last 15, 2 for his last 22. That's hit hard, but at the third baseman Chapman, a good sign though, a line drive, even though Gaddis is out. And the Astros tie this game up.
Alex Bregman going the opposite way. Second time on this road trip. Not an easy place to do it.
In the Bay Area on the West Coast, Matt Chapman, Chad Pinder, Stephen Piscotty leading off in this bottom half of the second. Alex Bregman tying the game on his 3rd home run of the year, 2nd in 3 games, and both have been to right field. Lance starts out the inning with a fastball for a strike. Chapman, 228 on the year with 6 home runs. Just 1 for 27 right now in his last 8 games. He chops one towards Correa. Alex steps in front of him and makes the play for out number 1.
Our Best in Texas Power Pitch is presented by Ford. Lance McCullers on the mound, 27 innings pitched in his last 4 starts. That is what A.J. Hitch likes to see. That is the most innings he's pitched in any 4 starts of his career. in those 4 since that start in Minnesota. He went 7, 6, 7, and 7. He's done great work in that last outing against the New York Yankees, putting in some serious labor to get through those 7 innings.
Chopper towards Lance. He will flip it to Yuli Gurriel, and we will see the crowd react. This is a special moment. Stephen Piscotty will bat. First game back since his mother, Gretchen, passed less than 48 hours ago.
Right fielder, number 25, Stephen Piscotty.
Traded to the Bay Area to be closer to his mom, who is suffering from ALS.
Amazing that he's even on the field right now. A lot of credit to Stephen Piscotty. You can see the players in the background for the Oakland A's.
Astros are standing and cheering.
I think Lance McCullers wants to throw the baseball out just in honor of Stephen Piscotty to have something to give it away, but I don't think Joe West was going for it. But I love the fact that the players behind Stephen Piscotty are up on their feet. Pretty incredible.
Fouls that first pitch out of play. Sunday night, Gretchen Piscotty, who was such a big fan of all 3 of the Piscotty boys, passed away in the evening. All her loved ones around her. Stephen traded over here from the Cardinals. A great maneuver by both organizations to allow him to be closer. And there he goes, base hit into right center field. First at bat of the night and a single for Stephen Piscotty.
Batting in the 9th position, the catcher, number 13, Bruce Maxwell.
Here's Bruce Maxwell. Takes a called strike. One to win the count. 2 outs. Piscotty on first base.
That was pretty nasty. Put more of a traditional break on that curveball, but just stayed on the outside corner to get him ahead in this count, 1-2.
Swing and a miss with a fastball by him at 1-2. Well, Lance allows 1 hit, 1 man left on base. We are through 2, tied at 1. by Rooms to Go, where you get great style and quality all at the lowest prices on every item every day. Second game of 3 between the Astros and the A's from Rickey Henderson Field at the Oakland Coliseum. Astros pounding out 20 hits in last night's game, winning 16-2. 20 hits marked their most since they had 22 hits in 2013. Game in April in Seattle. Ryan McCann takes a called strike. It's 0-1. Speaking of Seattle, how about another no-hitter today?
Yep.
James Paxton.
Another American League West left-hander getting a no-hitter.
Joining Sean Manaea as the only 2 pitchers with a no-hitter this year. The Dodgers had a combined no-hitter. So the 3 no-hitters in the 2018 Major League season. Sean Manaea threw one here in Oakland. James Paxton in Canada. And the Dodgers combined in Mexico.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
3 no-hitters in 3 different countries. And the guy who threw the no-hitter today in Canada, his nickname is Big Maple. So he's got Canadian throwing a no-hitter in Canada.
He's got the big maple leaf tattooed on his arm.
He is the 2nd Canadian to throw a no-hitter in the big leagues. Got to go back to 1945. Dick Fowler is the last Canadian to throw a no-hitter.
That's a good pull.
The last no-hitter at the Rogers Center and the last no-hitter in Canada, sitting in that Astros dugout, named Justin Verlander.
There you go. Ground ball to the right side, fielded there by Lowry in the shift. No, that's not Lowry. That's Simeon. He's playing.
These shifts will mess with your scorecard.
Simeon was playing second base in the shift. So Lowry was the shortstop. They kind of rotated spots. Either way, it's an out, and there's one away. I'm going to bring up Jake Marisnick. Manaea has sent down 7 of the first 8 batters, only an Alex Bregman home run. Jake around the bunt, pops up the bunt, and it is foul. Jake has been battling it at the plate this year. Figured a bunt might be a good shot against this lefty. So Manaea, the only no-hitter in the States, and it came in his last start here in Oakland. There's still a ways to go. We're only in the 2nd week of May. But you've got to think that Manaea would be a very strong candidate to be part of A.J. Hinch's pitching staff in Nationals Park in the All-Star game.
Not a bad call.
He's kind of always been known to the rest of the AL West, but I think that Boston game kind of put him on the map for all of Major League Baseball.
Yep, I completely agree on that.
Unorthodox delivery. Nicknamed the baby giraffe. And he gets Jake Marisnick swinging there. 2nd strikeout for Manaea. 2nd out of the inning. Julia?
Hey, thanks, TK. It is time now for our Chevy Stroh poll. It's Twitter Tuesday, so while you're on Twitter, make sure you're following and vote at ATT Sportsnet SW. We asked, what's the most impressive individual performance by an Astros player this season? Was it Springer's 6-hit night last night, or was it Garrett Cole Friday night with a complete game 1-hitter, punching out 16? And that's something AJ was talking about earlier today. 2 really rare, unique nights for this club on the same road trip, but just goes to show how special this club is. And he also said, you know, we're not even playing our best yet. So a caution to fans, we hold on. Some really cool things could be happening this year, but enjoy this while you're getting some special performances out of some really special players.
Yeah, and that just goes to exemplify you never know what's going to happen on any given night at the ballpark. That's the 2 wins for the Astros on this road trip are 2 games that you may not see for 5 to 10 or more years. Springer into left field, and that's going to drop for a base hit. Joyce coming in and fielding it on a bounce. I mean, what Springer did last night happens about once a year in the major leagues for the last 100+ seasons. And that's 30 teams playing 162 games.
Jose Altuve.
What Garrett Cole did, you know, that combination of 16 strikeouts or more, 1 hit or less, complete game shutout, that's happened 10 times. With Nolan doing it 4. So you're talking about some extreme performances that we have seen on this road trip. That's a tough call for the Stropole.
No, I completely agree. Last night was an absolute joy to watch. And then watching Garrett Cole and just the sheer determination and domination that he went out there and attacked Arizona with was incredible.
Foul tip. 1-1 the count to Altuve. Jose hit the ball hard his first time up, lining out to center. Yeah, I mean, either way you vote, it's a phenomenal performance that you may not see for a very long time. You can watch a lot of baseball and not see another 6-hit game the rest of your lifetime. And you can watch a lot of baseball and not see another performance like Garrett Cole dialed up to start this road trip. Saw the first of 5 of Georgia's hits, knotted off for the 6th. Bottom of the 9th. People are admitting, I love their honesty. People are admitting, hey, we thought the game was over. Some of them turned off the TV.
Well, they scored so many runs so early that you just said, okay, it's a blowout. Thank goodness they're going to roll to a win. I'm going to take a nap.
George is thrown out trying to steal with 2 outs and a couple of strikes on Altuve. As Maxwell guns him down for the final out of the inning. We head to the bottom of the 3rd, still tied at 1.
We talked about the big lead. Dallas Keuchel going out there in the 8th inning, but the Astros defense did not back down. They went out there and protected Dallas Keuchel's ERA. After a double in the gap and phenomenal relay from the Astros, from Springer to Marwin to Max Stassi with the catch and tag to make sure they kept that run off the board. That is playing all the way through that ball game last night, even with the big lead. That was a lot of fun to see and watch.
Helped out Dallas Keuchel. That'll be the last inning for Dallas, and he would end up giving up just that 1 run. A couple of called strikes on Simeon, who walked his first time up and scored the only run for the A's. Danced to second on a wild pitch, scored on a wild pitch. Towards McCullers, past Lance. Altuve has it, and Simeon safe. Lance frustrated. He feels like he should have made that play. That'll be an infield hit for Simeon.
Yeah, Lance is a guy who has a little more violent motion towards home plate. He doesn't set up the way we see Dallas Keuchel as far as squaring up to home plate.
Now batting left
Hit
fielder,
just hard enough to get past him.
Matt Joyce.
See Lance with that right leg kind of lingering in the air. But he is a high ground ball rate type guy. Still an opportunity to get that double play ball.
Joyce takes one down and in for a ball. Joyce batting 191 on the year, hitting 114 his last 13 games. Does take a lot of pitches, draws some walks. He has a 339 on base percentage. And takes this one outside. It's 2-0. Joyce only starts against right-hand pitchers, and the A's have seen 20 right-handed starters and 15 left-handed starters this year. Tied for the most in the American League with Kansas City. Now Lance down in the count 3-0. He almost hits Joyce.
Out there in the bleachers, huh? Maybe a microphone would probably be easier to pick up sound than a speaker.
Well, one thing we're learning from our audience responses here on Twitter Tuesday is they're not big fans of the drums.
No. It's understandable.
Twitter Tuesday. Judy always stays up to watch the Astros no matter how late they're on. Hoping for the cycle, excited for the 6 hits. A lot of people stayed up late with us last night. Springer was a big reason for that. Got to catch the replay of the 6th hit again.
That's aggressive.
Nice. That's not a lot of sleep for Vince.
You got to see it again to believe it.
Jed Lowry, the batter. Infield single and a walk, and now Lowry bats with nobody out, 2 runners on.
For the walk, Lowry pretty aggressive at going out there to attack a changeup.
Busy night here in the Oakland area. Astros and A's playing at the same time at the Golden State Warriors right across the way at Oracle Arena are playing Game 5 of their Western Conference Series. And by the way, congrats to the Rockets.
Run is one.
Moving on to the Western Conference Finals with a 112-102 victory tonight.
Very cool.
Lance is missing some pitches way in. He almost hit Joyce, and now he almost hit Lowry. It's 2-1.
Getting to that glove side, overextending a little bit.
The 2 sports facilities share a common area in between, and there are many more that ended up going inside for the basketball game that are watching this one tonight. It's still a better crowd than last night. 2-1 pitches down and in, and Lance has missed with 7 of the last 8 pitches. A walk and a hit in the first inning, a 2-out hit in the second. Now an infield hit and a walk, and he's down in the count to Jed Lowry, who's batting .345 on the year. Lowry fouls one off his foot, and that does not look comfortable. It's 3-2.
I feel like Lowry's guessed right a couple times. Swinging that first pitch changeup, you might have been sitting on it, and then here in a hitter's count gets a breaking ball and tries to unload on it. Instead, just takes it out on his leg. But not a characteristic type situation for a guy who's raking the ball as well as Lowry is. just in the sense that it wasn't an ideal or a perfect or a hanging breaking ball up out over the plate.
He's still hurting a little bit as he gets back into the batter's box slowly. Lance threw him a 3-2 curveball last time up, and he flied out to right. This one chopped again off of his front leg. He's going to have to readjust that shin guard.
Yeah, maneuver that thing around to where he could get a little more coverage out of it. Move out of the swelling up and loosen the straps. Oh yeah. Right on that ankle. It's always fun.
Hit sharply but foul. Good battle going on between McCullers and his former teammate Jed Lowry. Lowry's been back and forth with these two organizations a couple of times. Astro in 2012, A's 13-14, Astros 15, and the A's 16, 17, and 18. Misses inside. Bases are loaded. Back-to-back walks issued by McCullers. Lowry with a good battle. Right, Strong a little concerned early on the phone with the bases loaded and nobody out. Here's Chris Davis. Davis doubled to the wall in right field his first time up. Colin McHugh starting to warm up for the Astros. He had to warm up the other day with Charlie Morton struggling early in the game.
Kind of get the feeling that they don't want this game to get too far out of hand.
There's a ball to right field, hit well, Springer back, and he makes a catch on the move at the top of it, webbing in to score a run. The A's take a 2-1 lead, but Springer saved at least another run, if not two more, on a great catch at the very top of his glove.
No, that was huge. Absolutely saved at least 2 runs. Kind of spun around a couple of times. That's a tough play for the outfielder with that hard hit baseball over your head. But he created an angle by moving to his right, and then eventually opened up to make that play.
Sacrifice fly for Chris Davis gives him his 31st run batted in of the year, but that could have done a lot more damage. Here's Matt Olson. Olson takes one inside for a ball.
Yeah, this is a great play. You see, he's running to the right and then had to spin back in midair to make that play. Concentration, creativity too. Wow.
Now Lance would love a ground ball on the right side towards Altuve. Instead, he's falling behind Olson 2-0. "54 pitches for Lance, 29 strikes, 25 out of the strike zone." There's a strike called. It's 2-1. Olson flied out to left his first time up. Joyce went back and tagged on that play. He's at third. Jed Lowry on first with 1 out. Two and 2 the count.
A lot of off speed in this game from Lance McCullers early on. That is the 18th curveball. He's thrown 16 changeups also. Wow. 22 fastballs.
Changeup is getting so much play lately.
Just not getting the swing and miss we're accustomed to.
Doesn't get the chase there on the breaking ball, and the count runs full.
He's only got 2 swings and misses at that curveball. Usually that's a high swing and miss pitch for Lance McCullers.
Mention his percentages, 3 and 2 to lefty hitters. Even though he threw one on 2-2, he's not afraid to double up. Well, this time he throws the fastball. Altuve has it to second for 1. The return, double play. Altuve, Correa turn it, and Lance gets out of a jam, only allowing the 1 run. 2-1 A's as we head to the 4th.
The 3rd inning, 1st and 3rd, and Altuve turns and spins and throws an absolute bullet to second base, and in the transition Carlos Correa does the same going to first.
First pitch swinging, Altuve gets under 1, hits it pretty deep to left.
But that was a huge play for not only the Astros but for Lance McCullers trying to get out of some damage. But the awareness of Altuve to really take a chance and make sure he gets that lead runner, and then in turn got to see 2 guys up the middle make an extremely difficult double play look easy.
You needed 2 firm fastballs for the middle infield.
And they've got to be in a great location to be able to make the exchange for Carlos Correa. So that was a great feed from Altuve. Springer had a great play in that inning too, but Lance McCullers owes a lot to that defense right now to only get out of that inning giving up 1 run.
Love the fact that, you know, here at the Coliseum in Oakland, the dugouts are pretty shallow, but half the dugout came out to greet the guys as they came off the field.
I understand what team baseball is. You got to pick each other up every once in a while. Maybe that's what turns things around for Lance McCullers and settles him in.
It's been a little bit of a battle for Lance through 3. A couple of walks in that last inning. Got through it with only 1 run allowed, and the Astros are down 2-1 to Sean Manaea. And there's a ball hit well into right center field. That'll be a hit for Carlos Correa. So the Astros starting to get some hits against Manaea, who hasn't allowed many here in Oakland. To Julia we go.
Hey, Get Out and Play is presented to you by Toyota. These guys coming off a night where they had a really good time putting up 20 hits, and within the game, it was a bit of a game. All these little entertaining things that had these guys loose in the dugout throughout the night. You know what Jose Altuve said, though, after this one? He said, we had a couple of really tough games in Phoenix. Weren't feeling good, but he had a feeling that it was time to break out. Something was about to be big for this offense, and boy, was it big, them putting up for 20 hits and 16 runs last night. Okay.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive to watch. Springer leading the way. A pop-up off the bat of Yuli Gurriel for out number 2. Astros getting aggressive on Minaya this inning.
Don't want to get to that changeup or that slider. The changeup, he threw a ton of them last time he faced these Houston Astros.
Number 2, Alex Bregman.
Here,
Threw 93 pitches against the Astros that last outing. 31 of them were changeups.
wow. Bregman accounting for the only run of the game so far for the Astros with an opposite field home run. Throw that changeup a lot to righty hitters, and starts out Bregman with 1. Misses low for a ball, 1-0. Alex now on a 10-game hitting streak on the road. All his home runs this year have been away from home. Hit his first one in Minnesota, his second one in Arizona, and his third one tonight. And a strike call. It looked like he doubled up on it.
He did double up on it. The first one wasn't a very good one, but he came back with a better one. Even that count out, 1-1.
Seventh no-hitter in A's history when he no-hit the Red Sox here on the 21st of April. Now he pours a fastball in there. It's 1-2.
It's one way to not allow him to get extended and try and drive the baseball the other way. Is a couple of changeups on that outside corner really slow the eyes and hands down, and then bust him in with that fastball you just saw. Now as a hitter, you're questioning, will he come back inside with the fastball, or will he try and dump that changeup on the outside? But it looks like Maxwell's going in.
Swing and a miss. Bregman frustrated as he goes down swinging. Third strikeout for Minaya. We're through 3.5. It's 2-1 A's.
Renew their rivalry with the Rangers on Lone Star Series. For tickets, visit Astros.com/tickets. That's after a day off, though, right?
Finally. Ground ball towards third. Bregman makes the play. And on one pitch, Chapman is retired for the first out of the bottom half of the 4th inning. 26 games in 27 days on the original schedule, and we know that can change as the season goes along with potential rainouts, but on the original schedule, that was the longest stretch of the year with only 1 day off.
Yeah, I can feel it too. Body's aching.
Tomorrow's day game after a night game
I do enjoy the day getaway games, but day games are still, I don't know if there's something subconsciously, you know, some residual effects from playing so many day games in the career. After night games, you wake up sore.
Yeah. 1-0 pitch is bounce foul. Chad Pinder, the hitter, grounded back to Lance McCullers his first time up. I think everybody in this Astros organization excited to have the day off on Thursday. That'll just be a quick weekend homestand. Just in for those 3 in the Lone Star Series and back out to Anaheim. Pitch misses for a ball. But as the season goes along, the Astros will catch up on some of these off days because they have played the most games along with the Rangers of anybody in baseball this year. 37 games into their season. There's a strike called. Today's game 38, 19th on the road. They have played 19 home games and are 10-9 at Minute Maid Park. And coming into tonight, 12-6 on the road this year. Ball's hit hard, and Altuve short hops it. Makes a high toss, and Ugley comes down off the bag. Altuve did the hard part, and then kind of threw a lollipop over to first base for his first error in a long time.
The Astros video is going to take a peek at this and see if Ugley did, in fact, come down on the bag. But yeah, it was a unique soft line drive to Jose Altuve, who kind of made the adjustment. Am I going to catch it or not? And then he charged it, made a good pickup of that short hop. Got kind of uncharacteristically lazy with the throw going across to Ugley, and they're going to let this play stand.
That snaps a streak of 67 consecutive errorless games for Altuve.
Steven Piscotty.
Going all the way back to last year. Here's Steven Piscotty. Got a great hand from the crowd and from both dugouts in his first at bat. Through that pitch from Lance, it's 0-1.
Another changeup. But just to go back to that ground ball, gosh, he made such a great play to finish that 3rd inning. And that was a real opportunity to get the out and really try and make it a quick inning for Lance McCullers and get him back in there.
That's the first error committed by the middle of the diamond, but now they have a chance to make up for it. Now Altuve throws a fastball strike to end the inning after that other lollipop throw got away. So Correa to Altuve to Gurriel to end the inning. Gonzalez had quite a night.
He did. 5 RBIs on the night. And the best part about it was 4 of those 5 came with 2 outs. This was a big one. 2-out RBI, driving himself in with that long blast to right field. Also had a base hit earlier in that ball game, a 2 RBI single. But he's had himself some opportunities to drive in runs. Him and Alex Bregman right in that lower portion of the lineup, having those guys on in front of them, have done a great job, and it's good to see the bat coming around for Marwin.
Last 17 games, Marwin with 17 runs batted in.
I like it.
Hitting .323. He has struggled against Sean Manaea in his career, 2 for 14, as he faces Manaea here to start the fifth. You know, Marwin really got off to a slow start, but now he's on pace not only to reach 90 RBIs like he did last year. Coming into tonight, he was on pace for 96 runs batted in with that 5 RBI game last night, putting him at 22 for the year. Fastball for a strike. It's 0-2. Astros have 3 hits, 1 in each of the last 3 innings. The home run by Bregman, a single by Springer, and a single by Correa. But other than the home run, nobody has reached second base. Ball grounded towards short, backhanded Simeon, throw off balance, picked nicely at first base by Olsen for the first out of the 5th inning. Are you the ultimate Southwest fan? Use hashtag #UltimateSWFan WTX on Twitter to show us, and you could win a VIP experience. West Texas May is your chance to show your spirit, so tweet now and win big. Evan Gattis hit the ball hard his first time up, but he lined out to third. Sean Manaea, 25 years old. The lefty is 6'5", but with his delivery, his release point's right around 5'6", 5'5". He really drops down. And that's an angle you don't see very often, and I think one of the reasons why he is so effective.
Yeah, because even at 90 to 92 miles an hour, he does create deception, which makes that ball get on the hitter a lot quicker than the velocity would say.
I mentioned his nickname is the Baby Giraffe. He was called that from his days back in the Kansas City Royals. Pitchers fielding practice in spring training. Things weren't going very well. He was kind of flopping all around, and somebody said he looks like he's a baby giraffe out there trying to field, and it kind of stuck. It's now part of his Twitter handle. 3-1 the count. But he's one of the game's best. Astros seeing him for the 2nd time this year. ERA 3rd in the league, only behind a couple of Astros. Justin Verlander still pacing the way. Garrett Cole 2nd and Sean Manaea 3rd. On 2 hops, Chapman. He's got a great arm from third. Guns down Gattis for out number 2.
No player does more, presented by HEB. How about the catching production for the Houston Astros? Stassi involved in that. He's got 13 hits on the season. 9 of them have come against left-handed pitching. And of course, the ever-popular McCann balls contributing. But they're high on base percentage, guys. The catcher's getting on 38% of the time, which is great to see.
Nothing wrong with an OPS over 800.
Take that.
As McCann fouls one back.
Creeping up that leaderboard. The American League, 2nd and 1st in average and on base percentage. Slugging the ball nicely and scoring some runs. That's what we talk about, production. Get on. When you get on, score.
Hey, McCann reaches base, hit by a pitch. He has now reached in every start in this stadium. 16 starts in Oakland. And tonight he knew he was going to have a tough task against Manaea, but he's hit by a pitch to reach base.
That'll help the OBP.
6, Jake Marisnick.
So a base runner every inning since the first for the Astros. See if Jake can get something done here with 2 outs. Jake struck out swinging his first time up. Want to know the count. One and one. .44 strikes out of 65 pitches so far for Manaea. He typically throws around 95 pitches a game. He did have that no-hitter where they let him go 108. But for the most part, Melvin has a little shorter leash. He doesn't usually let him get into triple digits in pitches. Jake down in the count 1-2. That ball is rocketed towards left, and that is down for a base hit. Joy's trying to cut it off. It'll go to the wall. McCann heads to third. He'll be held there. Jake into second with a double. Astros with runners on second and third as Jake drives one to the wall for a double.
It was a seed well struck by Jake Marisnick. He needs to start seeing that ball jump off his bat a little more these days. Just keep fighting. Every once in a while, you're going to get a mistake and drive into that gap, and then it's off to the races for Brian McCann. Jake hit that ball hard, 108.6 miles an hour off the bat.
Nice. See if Springer can drive in a couple of runs with 2 outs. George rockets one deep to left field. Joy's all the way back, and he is at the wall. It's off the wall. 2-run score. George into second. Astros take the lead. It is 3-2.
Oh, those are my favorite kind of RBIs. Runners in scoring position and 2 outs and a double to drive in 2 for George. Continuing some hot hitting here in Oakland.
Number 27.
Second hit of the night, trying to make a bid for a 3-run homer. Manaea thought he gave it up. Joyce tracking it to the wall, and then eventually felt that presence out there and gave up on it.
I think both hitter and pitcher initially thought that ball was gone.
You know, if George is a better hitter, he would have gone 9 for 9. Instead, he's just 8 for his last 9.
He came into this series hitting .217 in his career in Oakland. And now he's 8 for 9 in this series. He had struggled overall against the A's, .229 in his career, but .217 here at Rickey Henderson Field.
He kind of fought that one off, really didn't barrel it up and drive through it like we saw last night, but still obviously a strong enough guy to hit it to the wall. Here we go.
Altuve deep to right field. Piscotty with a great catch, and he goes up against the wall after making a fine running catch to rob Jose Altuve of an RBI extra base hit. But the Astros take the lead thanks to Springer's double. It's 3-2. That is brought to you by Arctic. Overbuilt, not overpriced. Bottom half of the 5th inning, Lance McCullers Jr. working with a lead for the first time tonight as Bruce Maxwell fouls one out of play. Maxwell struck out his first time up. Makes his 10th start of the year for the A's, all behind the dish. It'll be Maxwell in the top of the lineup. Marcus Semien and Matt Joyce. Lance worked around an error last inning, got a ground ball double play to end it. It was a well-struck ground ball. Stephen Piscotty hit it 106 miles an hour, but it was right at Carlos Correa, who's turned to double play. This one's a fastball away. It's 1-1. Lance has gotten out of the last 2 innings with a double play. Ahead of the count, 1-2.
You had commented on that last double play that Altuve really kind of let it eat, throwing it over there to first base.
Yeah, for him, that's as hard as it looked like he could throw it.
Then as hard as he can throw it is 78.1 miles an hour.
But he really was fired up with that throw.
He was thoroughly upset with himself and took it out on Yuli by firing that baseball over there to first base on that double play. So 78.1 miles an hour. He threw that ball across on that double play. The previous double play with Carlos Correa, 86 miles an hour from Carlos.
And that seems about right.
Yeah.
If you were to ask me what the difference is in their heater, I would say Carlos probably has them by about 5 to 10 miles an hour. This ball is well struck to center field off the base of the wall. Jake plays it well. Maxwell doesn't run well. Jake's throw, though, is a little bit offline. And he has a leadoff double in the 5th. Cool that we have those stats.
It is pretty cool.
Now batting shortstop.
Tell you what, Maxwell in this series coming into it didn't light up the scoreboard with any of the numbers, but he's had some good swings. The double last night against Dallas Keuchel, and here he has a double off of Lance McCullers. Hit the ball hard.
Here's Marcus Semien. He has scored both of the runs for the A's. He has walked and also reached on an infield hit. Round to bunt, takes a strike. Fourth hit allowed by Lance. He's also walked 2 and 1 reached on an error. Walked 3 so far. Walked Semien and also Joyce and Lowry. This ball grounded past Bregman. Past Correa, now heading to third is Maxwell. The throw is out at third base. Marwin charging, making a great play to get Maxwell trying to advance from second to third. That's a big out for the Astros.
That might be one of the advantages of having an infielder being an outfielder. Came in charging, do or die play, throws on the run and gets that lead out.
That's a great point.
That was awesome.
Not a lot of outfitters make this style of throw.
No, and Maxwell had to hold his ground until he saw it get past Correa, but credit Marwin for charging in and throwing on the run.
Perfect throw on one hop.
That was beautiful. But Marwin does this in the infield all the time, and it just so happens that he had to do it from the outfield and threw a bullet on one hop. I love the fist pump from Marwin also after the play, knowing he made a great throw.
Yeah, he does it in any position. He gives you above average defense, and that was a big out for Lance McCullers. Instead of first and third, nobody out, runner on first and 1 out as Joyce fouls one out of play.
Can we give a fielder's choice to Marcus Semien on that?
Yeah, that would be nice, right?
That was a joke. It's a base hit.
Instead, it's a base hit. You can understand Maxwell trying to be aggressive there, trying to get over to third base, but didn't work out for him.
That was awesome.
Needed to make a perfect play, and Marwin did.
That is on target. Great play, great catch and tag. Great defense helping out Lance McCullers again.
There goes the runner. Pitch fouled away. Simeon took off on the 1-1 pitch. Well, Lance has had the help of a Altuve to Correa turn double play, then a Correa to Altuve turn double play. And now Marwin making a great play on a single to left, getting the runner going from second to third.
Taking it kind of hard.
That one bounces in there, blocked by McCann. It's 2-2. Strikeout and a walk so far for Matt Joyce. Another one in the dirt, 3-2. Say it's been one of those games where Lance has not had his best command.
Yeah, he's fighting through some issues. But again, trying to keep that composure on the mound and focus on the next pitch, not be so concerned about how he didn't throw his best pitch the pitch previously.
Sometimes those outings where you work through games without your best stuff and still put your team in a position to win are as gratifying as when you have your A material. 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss, runner on the move. The throw is not quite in time. Simeon picks up his third steal of the year, but Joyce strikes out for the second out.
Yeah, tough for Brian McCann. He's got a pitcher out there who's primarily concerned with the next pitch as opposed to holding on that base runner, and Simeon did a good job of running on a breaking ball. Got a great jump. My goodness, he had 2 or 3 steps before the ball was even out of the arm, or out of the hand of Lance McCullers.
So now Lance has to deal with Jed Lowry, who has flied to right and also walked. Lowry leading the American League with 31 runs batted in. And he grounds one foul. Low, 1-1. Lance ahead of the count, 1-2.
That is a heavy diet of changeups to Jed Lowry. It's got to be at least 3 or 4 in a row, I feel like.
All these pitches in this at bat are changeups?
Yeah.
Wow.
Good location on him, too. Good swing and miss. He got on that changeup down.
You have to write a new book if you're the opposition on Lance McCullers.
Exactly. He's starting to alter some of those tendencies that you've become accustomed to with Lance McCullers in the breaking ball.
Becoming Devo out there.
There it is.
There's the curve. Or is that a changeup?
No, that was curveball.
Okay. 2-2.
It's interesting because he throws them at a very similar rate of speed, too. 86 to 88 on both pitches, just different breaks.
They both break down. The changeup will come into a lefty. I mean, the curveball will come into a lefty.
23 changeups so far in this game, 4 swings and misses on it, and then 27 breaking balls now.
So almost 50-50.
Yeah, go get them, boys.
Wow. This one's popped out of play.
It still has the ability, which is amazing to me, to be able to throw that many off-speed pitches in a row and come back and throw a great 2-seam fastball in the inner third. Now you've sped the bat up on Jed Lowry. And now he's got the option to go changeup or curveball again.
Simeon on second, 2 outs. Astros with a 3-2 lead in the 5th. is inside. The count's full. Angels game is already over tonight. They played in Colorado and lost 4-2. So the Astros, with a win, can jump back into first place. Fastball misses upstairs, and Lowry has walked for the second straight time. That is walk number 4, allowed by Lance McCullers.
The Astros are excited to announce the launch of the new World Champions commemorative brick program. Enjoy the new brick sizes, placement down champions walkway, and the option to include the Astros World Champions logo with a personal message on it. Visit astros.com/bricks for more information.
Lance had that one start in Minnesota where he walked 6 and also struck out 6. Every other outing this year, he has had more strikeouts than walks. Those 6 walks matched his career high, done one other time. Tonight he's walked 4 and facing the dangerous Chris Davis with 2 on and 2 outs. Brent Strom out there talking things over with Lance.
Lance is putting some mileage on that pitch count by having 6 3-2 counts.
Davis.
Be very difficult to see him pitching 6 tonight. That pitch count up, closing in on 90 here in the 5th inning. Davis a double, a sac fly. Takes a pitch for a ball. It's 1-0. Bullpen action for the first time tonight. Brad Peacock warming up. Davis tried to hold up and he goes around. Says first base umpire Marty Foster. It's 1-1. Davis.
Another changeup too.
Davis doesn't like the call.
Make the call at home. He did. The hands didn't break, but the barrel got plenty far out in front.
On the ground towards Bregman. He will make the throw across in time to get Davis for the final out of the inning. So Lance strands 2 more, and we are through 5 with the Astros leading 3-2.
And it's time for the short clip. Best pair.
Baseball brought to you by T-Mobile, and these Astros coming in against Sean Manaea, who they've struggled against in their last start. They've seen him a lot too, but AJ Hinch said before the game, stay inside the zone. We have to be disciplined, and that's something they've been talking about for a long time. We saw him be a little bit aggressive against Manaea at times, but a couple of doubles in that last inning. Astros on top of the A's right now, guys.
Yeah, we start the sixth with Carlos Correa, Julia, and he takes a pitch outside for a ball, 1-0. Correa singled to right his last time up. One of 5 Astros hits tonight against Sean Manaea. Jose Altuve's hit the ball hard all 3 times, and he doesn't have anything to show for it. He's 0 for 3. Correa takes a strike. It's 1-1. But a Bregman home run and a George Springer 2 RBI double has the Astros on top 3-2. Correa on the ground. Chapman plays it on 2 hops. And Correa retired for the first out of the 6th inning.
League leaders are presented to you by Houston Methodist. American League ERA leaders. Justin Verlander on top with a 1.17 ERA. Right behind him, Garrett Cole with a 1.42. Sean Manaea up to this point has a 1.95. Remember, he would pitch through the month of April with a 1.03 ERA. Gave up 4 runs in his last outing, 3 so far in this outing against the Houston Astros.
Now, this is a stadium where he was dominating coming into the start. 0.73 ERA this year. Yuli Gurriel bats and takes a called strike. It's 1-1. I think Manaea does very well, or at least has this year, is he keeps the leadoff hitter off base. Tonight the Astros are 0 for 6 with their leadoff hitters. And on the year, leadoff hitters are 4 for 54 against Manaea. Brad Peacock still warming up. That could be the end of the night for Lance McCullers. As Yuli gets into one towards left, that sends Joyce back. He's at the track. He leaps, and it is off the wall. Yuli has extra bases. Give him a 10-game hitting streak as Yuli has a 1-out double.
And again, in a 2-strike count. Yuli going out there doing damage. Refuses to take that strikeout without going down without a fight. Slider tried to get it down and in, stayed in that middle portion of the plate. Yuli lunging out there and barreling it up. Just out of the reach of Matt Joyce in left field. He's having some issues out there with that wall in left field. Good for Yuli. 10 games now.
10-gamer.
Like it.
Hit 361 coming in with that hitting streak. That was not that far off from where Manaea wanted that pitch. Yuli just went out and got it. Nice piece of hitting. As did Alex Bregman have in the 2nd inning when he hit a solo home run to right field. He hit one over the National League scoreboard. Yuli just hit one shy of the American League scoreboard and left. Although with all the interleague games being played right now, it's hard to tell which is which. 2-0 the count to Bregman. Alex last night finished the game with a couple of doubles and then started tonight with a home run. He is 3 for his last 4 with a couple of doubles and a home run as Lou Trevino starts to warm up.
These are situations Alex likes. He likes these runners in scoring position.
Down to the count 3-0. Manaea with his 80th pitch, and it's a line drive caught by Chapman at third. Alex hit it hard. But at the A's third baseman for the 2nd out. Cheer on the Houston Astros in the loudest and most energetic part of the ballpark during every Friday night home game. The Strozone is presented by Texas Mahindra Dealers. Fans with a May 11th Strozone ticket will receive an exclusive Garrett Cole Coltrane t-shirt. Visit Astros.com/Strozone now to purchase your tickets. Garrett Cole will pitch the finale of this road trip tomorrow. He started out this road trip with an electrifying performance, a historic performance. His first shutout of his career, 16 strikeout, 1 hitter against the Diamondbacks. A lot of fans tonight on this Twitter Tuesday are sending us their sleep deprivation stories.
There's a lot of them. And last night was one of those nights where you're glad you stayed up to witness something extremely special in George Springer getting 6 hits.
I'm guessing the snooze mechanism on your phone alarms is being used a lot. Here's a line drive to left field in front of Joyce. Base hit. Astros will get another run out of this. Coming in to score is Yuli on the RBI single by Marwin Gonzalez. It's now 4-2.
Alex Bregman just hit a bullet in an RBI situation for an out. Had a great AB, and now Marwin Gonzalez backs him up by getting another hit with a runner in scoring position like he did last night. And of the 2-out variety.
Number 11.
Those will wear on you a little bit as a pitching staff. But Marwin doing a good job of recognizing some mistakes up in the zone and raking them for hits and RBIs.
Plummer mentioned before the game last night the 2-out RBIs have been lacking a little bit. Now all of a sudden the Astros getting them in bunches, 3 straight in this game to take a 4-2 lead. And that's the end of the night for Sean Manaea. We'll tell you about the new pitcher when we come back.
Leading 4-2 over the A's. Time to play Name That Astro, brought to you by Nissan. One is not the loneliest number. Family tree and an Indians connection. Name That Astro. Send your guesses to @ATT Sportsnet SW with your answers. Until then, we're going to let you know a little bit about Lou Trevino.
Trevino takes over here with a runner on first base. In the 6th inning, Sean Manaea goes 5 2/3 innings. Trevino, a 26-year-old right-hander, good fastball, breaks it around 97. Curveball, cutter, and also a changeup.
Not too shabby at 97. He throws the hardest out of that bullpen for Bob Melvin and his Oakland A's.
They have really liked what they've seen out of him this year. They're now starting to use him in very much the same way we see an Archie Bradley used for the Diamondbacks most recently in that last series, or everybody talks about Andrew Miller with the Indians. Trevino's not quite to that level, but they are starting to use him in high leverage spots, whether it's the 8th or in this case in the 6th inning, the Astros with a 4-2 lead. Not wanting to see any more damage with Evan Gattis at the plate.
Yeah, Bob Melvin working with a little bit different situation as far as guys in his bullpen, young guys. He can go out there and test them and challenge them and see if they rise to that occasion.
Ball hit hard past Simeon. He kind of looked at his glove as that ball got under his glove into left field. Probably be a base hit, but it's a play that Simeon looked like he had a chance to make. That'll be the 3rd hit of the inning for the Astros. Evans hit the ball hard a couple of times tonight. Finally a hit to show for it.
I tell you what, if Evan Gattis's bat starts to come around a little bit like we're seeing with Marwin Gonzalez, depth in that lineup would be huge.
They haven't ruled this a hit yet, but
he whiffed.
That's a tough play. That's a short hop. I think that's got to be a hit.
I gave it a hit. It's probably because I like Evan Gattis better than Marcus Simeon.
Brian McCann, the batter. McCann swings the first pitch, pops it up. A lot of foul territory, and Chapman over there has a play for the final out of the inning. But the Astros add a run to their lead through 5.5. They lead 4-2.
Sets an example with his passionate playing style. George Springer helps reopen a baseball field, and Preston Wilson breaks down the art of robbing a home run. All that and more on Astros Bases Loaded Fridays before pregame and re-airing all week only on AT&T Sportsnet.
George Springer continues to have an incredible series. Great defensive play. 8 hits already in the series as the Astros will turn to a new pitcher in the bottom half of the 6th inning. It's Brad Peacock.
Brad Peacock out there, keep this ball game right where it's at in relief of Lance McCullers. 13 games this season. Still a great ERA at 2.63. That whip at 1. Great strikeout to walk ratio. He has stranded 5 of 9 inherited runners. Clean slate right now as he starts this inning.
First batter he faces is Matt Olson, who takes a called strike. Olson has flied out to left and grounded into a double play started by Altuve. It was a big turn in that game for the Astros and Lance McCullers. Lance had allowed a single and a couple of walks to start that inning. Chris Davis hit a line drive to right field that George Springer made a great catch for a sacrifice fly. And then Lance was able to get a double play to get out of that inning with only 1 run allowed. At the end of the night, it's the first time all year that Lance has a start where he allows more walks than strikeouts. He walks 4 and strikes out 3, but he still escapes with just 2 runs allowed in 5 innings. I think Lance will be the first to admit it was not his finest night of control, but he worked around his less than best stuff and gave his team a chance to win.
Yeah, sometimes you got to manage games, and he managed to get through that, only giving up those 2 runs where there were some real opportunities for the A's to get after him and put some more runs up.
Two and 2 the count to Olson. It'll be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters: Matt Olson, Matt Chapman, and Chad Pinder. Strike 3 called as Peacock picks up a strikeout of the first batter he faces. Matt Olson goes down looking.
Everybody might have been sitting on that slider, but here we go. In Lance McCullers laboring through and only allowing 2 runs, and the Astros putting up 3 or more runs. This is the difference. When that offense shows up and only scores 3 or more runs, the record is 19-5. But we have seen so many times where that starting rotation has done a very good job of suppressing the opposing team, giving up 0 to 2 runs, and the record is completely different at 3 and 10. It's amazing how just scoring 3 runs could alter that record for the Houston Astros.
I like the fact at even 3 wins with 0-2 runs. That means the staff
Explains everything you want to know about the starting staff for the Houston Astros.
almost a run better in ERA than the next best staff in baseball. And we're still only 38 games in.
There's 7 or 8 starts now for these guys. They're starting to add up.
Tomorrow is the 4-starter Garrett Cole. No, I said we would never call him the 4-starter again. He is the starter who pitched the 4th game of the year.
Yeah, we have to reevaluate or reword that rotation because it's so unique to have that many horses in your rotation pitching as well as they are right now.
His game score, depending on what game score numbers you use, but his game score was right up there amongst the best all time in his last start. And that's part of our Stroh poll tonight. If you didn't see it earlier, what was more impressive, the Garrett Cole outing to start this road trip or the George Springer 6-hit game? Chapman takes a called strike. How about Peacock starting out with fastball strikeout on a couple of called 3rd strikes?
It's good to see him getting back that delivery and that release point of that fastball. Micah, where was I? I was missing sleep and will do the same thing for the Astros. Watching a historic night. That's right, never settle. Never sleep either.
Working the late shift. Stream the Rockets tonight. Good doubleheader so far.
Some dedicated fans out there, absolutely. It actually matched up pretty good having the Rockets win that game, leading right into this Astros game.
Chad Pinder 0 for 2, reached on an Altuve error his last time up. It was Altuve's only error of the season and his first in over 65 games. That's a check swing foul ball at the plate. It's 1-1.
Yeah, Twitter Tuesday is alive. Vince is out there. He stayed up and finished the game. He woke up at 4 a.m. to go to work. He caught the replay of the 6th hit again. I'm telling you, you got to see it twice to believe it.
Sleep. The little man was asleep. But then he got all fired up when he found out George had 6 hits. 1-2 the count. The Chad Pinder. Brad Peacock was with the A's organization in the 2012 season. And he has a great 1-2-3 strikeout the side, all called 3rd strikes. Peacock getting it done in the 6th.
Than ever before by downloading the new AT&T Sportsnet app from iTunes or Google Play, or visit AT&TSportsnet.com to stream on your computer. Log in with your cable account and you're all set. Available for those with AT&T Sportsnet in their TV subscription. Blackouts and territorial restrictions apply.
That's a cool new feature here.
Hey, they updated some things around here at the Oakland Coliseum, and that being one of them, that treehouse up there in left field where George Springer tried to visit with that baseball last night.
The treehouse is up in left field, and it's the one area of the stadium that is the most crowded.
It does look inviting.
People hanging out on the rails out there, a little restaurant. I like that. That's all new in 2018. Jake Marisnik is the leadoff hitter with a 1-1 count. Oakland Coliseum, home to both the A's and the Raiders, at least for 2 more years with the Raiders.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was 2 more years here for the Raiders. I thought they'd be in a hurry to get out there to Vegas. I guess in order to get that stadium right,
yeah,
you got to take your time and build it correctly.
It's hard to build a stadium with all luxury suites.
I just figured they'd build a couple of hotels around it.
Yeah. Oh man, there's a little.
Oh, that's going off.
That is where the place to be.
It looks a little bit warmer in there too than where we're sitting.
Oh, that's probably true. Certainly warmer than where Julie is.
Again.
Swing and a miss from Jake, and it's 1-2.
He's at 97-mile-an-hour heater from Trevino.
Yeah, Trevino jumping on the scene this year with the A's, and he is making a name for himself. Picked up the final out of the inning, last inning, coming in with an 0.84 ERA, and he strikes out Jake to start the 7th. Little billiards action.
No, game on. Make that happen. It's like a little outdoor patio area also. Done a good job. It's their stadium now. They can do what they want. Nice little update.
I mean, we're sitting here, we're behind home plate. That's out in left field. That might take a little while to get out there.
Good. Depends on how bad you want to be there.
Pitch misses outside to Springer. How about Georgia's series? He's 8 for 9. Made a great catch in right. Helped Lance through that 3rd inning, only allowing 1 run.
It's impressive.
He's putting up Player of the Week numbers in 2 days so far.
He is.
Swings through that pitch. It's 1-1. We've had guys had 6 hits before, but not many have had 6 hits, and one of them being 462.
You could have cut that in half. A couple of doubles out of it.
There's ball hit on 1 hop to Simeon. Out number 2. A little chilly here in Oakland, probably in the 50s right now.
A little wind chill factor is in my bones right now, and I'm freezing.
Yeah, you look cold.
Yeah, I do. You know what? Brad Peacock is dealing right now, and in the booth, you are our version of Brad Peacock.
What do you mean?
So I think I'm going to make a run for it. You got this.
Where are you
all
going?
Right? You got this, kid. It's all you.
Seriously? What just happened? Plummer, you left your scorebook. Oh my goodness. Julia, Plummer just left. He's leaving me alone for the Jose Altuve at bat.
It does look fun out there. Should I go?
You think he's going to the treehouse?
I'm just gonna leave you.
Is he going to the treehouse?
Yeah.
He is?
It has to be.
Oh
That's where it's happening here.
There's no
Better
way.
right field to hang out with the fans of the drums.
There's a base hit in the left field. Plummer is going to be sad he missed an Altuve hit. As Altuve with a 2-out knock. Altuve's hit the ball hard all 4 times. He deserved that hit. He had lined out to center, flied out deep to left, and hit a ball to the wall and right on a great play by Piscotty.
Number 1, Carlos Correa.
There's Carlos Correa. Well, we'll find out where Plummer was heading, but he has definitely left the premises. Carlos Correa 1 for 3 on the night. Single to right. Astros now, after Sean Manaea limited them to just 1 hit the first time through the lineup. Astros up to 9 hits in the game. Altuve checked over at first base by Trevino. Brad Peacock will get another inning of work. There's nobody warming up in the Astros bullpen in the top half of the 7th. Altuve bluffing a go. Now he's on the move, and Correa fouls one back. Altuve probably would have had that base stolen. And now he finds out it's all for naught as Correa fouled the pitch off. Daniel loves him. Blummer 27. Wow. Ashley telling Blummer to run. Everybody is happy that Blummer ran away.
What does that say about you, TK?
Thanks, Julia.
Oh, you're doing great up there.
I appreciate it. There goes Altuve again, this time not as good a jump, but it doesn't matter. Correa swings and sends one to right, and Piscotty a great diving effort, but it's in foul territory. Correa with a count of 0-2. Piscotty gave it a great effort and just did not have enough time to get to this foul ball. He's already robbed Jose Altuve back in the 5th inning. Altuve was off on the last 2 pitches, and both times Carlos swung and fouled it away. Astros after dark. Never know what's going to happen. Sometimes the color analyst leaves the booth in the 7th inning. I have a feeling we'll find him next half inning. Altuve was leaning, got back. Alex Cintron saying, "Get back." Now they have a little discussion about it. So there's one vote for Blummer to hang out there. That's a ball called on Trevino. So Altuve bluffing to go twice, drawing the attention of the A's reliever, and he never came to a set. And a balk is called, moving Jose Altuve into scoring position.
Balk has been called.
Never came to a discernible stop, says the home plate umpire Doug Eddings. So now a base hit could add to the Astros lead. But Correa down to the count 0-2. Astros have scored their last 3 runs with 2 outs. A George Springer 2 RBI double in the 5th, and a Marwin Gonzalez RBI single in the 6th inning. Julia, don't leave.
Do you feel lonely up there? I'm not going anywhere.
Thank you.
I got you.
I appreciate you. How's the temperature down there? How's
It's pretty cold.
Is it same as last night?
A little bit colder today.
Really?
The sun waited to come out later in the day. I don't know if you were out walking around, but it's chilly this morning in the Bay Area.
Yeah, I usually don't get out to see the city as
You weren't
early as
awake.
you do. Yeah. So I did not see the cold stretch. 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. It is the 7th inning stretch time here with the Astros leading the A's 4-2 from the Oakland Coliseum. And it's our turn to send it to Kevin Eschenfelder and Mike Stanton in our Rooms to Go lounge as we head to the bottom of the 7th. 19th for Faith and Family Night presented by Chick-fil-A Houston. Following the Astros-Indian game starting at 3:10, a live testimony of faith will take place with guest speakers George Springer and Will Harris. And artist Torrin Wells leads an inspiring post-game concert. For tickets and info, visit astros.com/faith. We head to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Brad Peacock, a strong 6th inning. And he gets Stephen Piscotty to look at the first pitch for a strike. Peacock struck out this side in the 6th inning. Getting Matt Olson, Matt Chapman, and Chad Pinder. This ball sent in the air to left field. Marwin Gonzalez is there. And that is 4 in a row retired by Peacock out of the bullpen. Todd Kaus alongside Julie Morales. Jeff Blum left us in the booth the last half inning. And we found
the catcher.
Blummer. Get a little billiards action in out there at the treehouse. That's where he went. The treehouse, a new and updated part of the Oakland Coliseum. Broken bat. Altuve up the middle makes the play on Maxwell. Peacock appreciates that defense as Altuve throws out the opposing catcher for out number 2. So Blummer left us in the top half of the 7th.
Now batting shortstop.
And Dawn's husband is heading out there to find Blummer in the treehouse. He's going to have a group out there.
This is great.
Bobby Dynamite.
How did he get out there so fast and get a game of pool going?
The fact that when he left, Altuve singled and tried to run a couple of times and a balk was called. And finally Correa was retired. Gave him some time to get out there.
What else do they have out there?
Let's see what else Blummer's up to. Oh, cool.
Oh, no way.
They have, what is that? A little virtual,
yeah.
A little virtual reality baseball.
Let's see if he still got it.
Oh, yeah. It looked like he went deep to right there.
He's never coming back.
At some point he has to, right?
If he wants to make the bus.
So you say he's going to spend the rest of the game out there?
He's going to take the late Bart back.
Oh, my goodness. Hopefully he doesn't stop by the Oracle Arena and check out the Golden State Warriors game on the way back. Blummer, we need you at some point.
That actually looks pretty fun.
He's having a good time. Just raking. 1-2 the count. Simeon slow grounder towards third. Bregman coming in, makes the play for the final out of the inning. 1-2-3 inning for Brad Peacock. He has retired all 6. Long day of activities for Blummer out there as he is chilling out with a refreshment. It is 4-2 Astros heading to the 8th.
RBI Baseball 18. RBI Baseball delivers an all-new franchise mode and much more. RBI Baseball is available now. Learn more at rbigame.com. Rated for everyone. I wonder if that was the game Blummer was playing out there in the treehouse. Twitter Tuesday. Hashtag free Blummer. Is that trending?
It should be.
It should be trending.
I have it on good authority that he is on his way back to the booth from the treehouse.
It's quite the walk.
Yeah.
Better walk fast.
It's way out there. Well, you've done the trek up to Mount Davis.
That takes a while.
How about Yuli? A couple of hits in a row. Yuli, a single in the left field to start the 8th inning. Yuli doubled and scored his last time up. He's now 2 for 4. And he's been hitting the ball much better here for the last couple of weeks.
Alex Bregman.
You went up to Mount Davis, and that had to be a little bit further jaunt than it was to get out to the treehouse, because I think the treehouse actually wraps all the way around.
Right.
On the same level as the press area, so that's going to help him a little bit.
Yeah, Mount Davis there's a secret elevator and 15 stairwells.
And we discussed this last night. It almost feels like you're in a different stadium by the time you get up there.
Absolutely.
Bregman grounds one to short, should be 2. Simeon to Lowry to Olsen. And they turn a double play on Alex Bregman. Blummer is a trip. He just got up and left me in the booth to go play in the treehouse bar.
Now batting, number 9, Marwin Gonzalez.
I'm telling you, he's got to hurry back.
The performance review. Guess who just made it back?
Oh, there
I'm back.
And George Springer, 2 thumbs up.
You wouldn't believe how angry the guys in the truck were that I took off and had some fun up there in the treehouse.
Your ties.
Oh, still having too much fun. Whoops. Clean this up.
You were hitting some bombs out there.
I was raking.
How
just
was
like
that?
old times. It was awesome.
Yeah?
It was really cool. That's the first time I've ever done anything virtual reality, and it was pretty cool.
So you put the goggles on, you look
And
at
it puts you right at home plate here at Oakland Coliseum.
No way.
Yep. I wish we could have turned the velocity up on the pitcher a little bit. I was a little out ahead of some stuff.
Okay.
But I made the adjustment.
Does it show the whole thing?
Oh, man.
Exit velocity?
It is way more descriptive than you or I put together. It had launch angles,
Wow.
exit velocities, distances. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's a great setup up there.
Looks like we're having a great time. Thanks for coming back.
I was.
Yeah, you could have stayed up there, and I know you're.
I know. But I felt bad, a little guilty. Not really.
All right, so Mike was wondering, time to suit back up. You
just enough to get to 100.
No, it's definitely tempting to stay out there, but we appreciate you coming back.
I'm a team player.
Oh, we should have had you bring back some concessions. What did you hold up there at the very end?
Believe it or not, a bag of crickets.
Seriously?
Yeah.
They sell crickets by the bag out there?
Yep.
In the treehouse?
Yep.
There's a base hit by Marwin, but you didn't bring those back for us, right?
No, I finished them off.
No, you didn't. You would never eat a cricket.
No, I'm not a big cricket fan. I thought about bringing them back. Yep.
Let's break it down, Blummer. Break down your own swing.
It's a pretty good load, direct path, nice short clip, swinging this mini bat. Oh, yeah. And then you got to dress up. We call that pulling the cape up, like Superman, pull the cape around when you hit a bomb.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, Josh Reddick getting
Now
a
batting.
pinch hit appearance in his former home.
Pinch hitting for Gaddis.
Last night he was
Number
given
22, Josh Reddick.
a jersey for being on the 50th anniversary All-A's team, naming the top 50 athletic players of all time. Josh got voted in by the fans. He'll pinch hit here for the DH, Evan Gaddis. Wait, we got a little carried away. Lou Trevino left the game after pitching an inning and a third in the 8th inning. The Astros have been facing Ryan Dull. He gave up the hit to Yuli, the double play to Alex Bregman, and a single to Marwin, and now facing Josh Reddick. Dull misses down low for a ball, 1-0. The greatest of all time.
Yes. And there were a lot of, I didn't bring my phone with me, so I didn't have to catch up on all my tweets. There were some people concerned.
Only on Astros After Dark can we get away with that.
You got to stay tuned. You never know when the opportunity arises to to go have some fun.
I was a little concerned you're going to head over and watch the end of the basketball game, but I think the Warriors are in pretty good control over the Pelicans.
Well, I can confirm that my credentials don't work over there. There was an effort, but I was denied. So I headed to the treehouse.
There's a pop-up on the infield as Chapman is there to put it away. 2 hits in the inning, 1 man left on base. We head to the bottom half of the 8th. Astros leading 4-2.
Presented to you by TXU Energy. How about the Astros defense helping out Lance McCullers? Heck of a play out there in right field to keep some runs off the board. And then the infield went to work with runners on. Great turn by Jose Altuve and Carlos Correa. And then Altuve returns the favor, throwing a seed over there to first base. Even though this ball gets past Carlos, Marwin Gonzalez is there to back him up. A great throw on the run to cut down Bruce Maxwell at third base. Not going to have your best stuff every night, but if you have that defense playing well behind you, good things can happen, and they did.
Bottom half of the 8th inning, 2-run game, and Devo's out there. Chris Davinsky to face the 2, 3, and 4 hitters, Matt Joyce, Jed Lowry, Chris Davis. And this is the part of the lineup AJ likes for Devo's. He has Joyce in the switch hitting Lowry, Davis, then the left-hand hitting Olsen. So 3 out of 4 lefties he'll face if he has to face 4 in the inning. Ground ball just foul. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Joyce has struck out twice and walked. Astros lead this game 4-2, trying to take the first 2 games of this 3-game series and trying to move into first place in the AL West. As the Angels lost earlier tonight. Our fans are showing some skills tonight on Twitter Tuesday.
They really are.
High fly ball center field. Jake will wait for this one. That was really high up in the air. Jake puts it away for out number 1. Little one is a trooper. Always stay up for the Astros. Can't believe the Blummer left me. You believe it.
Jed Lowry.
No way. That's the best one of the night.
That's how I got up and back so fast.
Zip lining from the treehouse back to the booth.
Yeah, we failed to tell everybody there's a zip line straight to it from the booth.
That is awesome stuff right there.
Glad I went to the gym earlier.
Here's Jed Lowry. Lowry takes one for a ball. It's 1-0. Well played, everybody. Tonight on Twitter Tuesday, we're getting a lot of responses, not only to Blummer leaving the booth, but also to our theme of the night. Ooh, there is the zip line.
Yep.
Off the end of the bat, Bregman's going to have to come in, and Lowry didn't get a great jump out of the box, so Alex makes a relatively easy play for out number 2. Devo pulls the string and gets the little cue shot towards Bregman for the second out. You know, during all this tomfoolery we've had, Brad Peacock, 6 batters he faced, retired all 6.
Getting back to being Brad Peacock, that was fun to watch. It was also interesting to see him get back on the fastball. You know, we talk about hitters hitting off the fastball. I think sometimes pitchers get away from the fastball and throw a lot more of the spin. Sometimes they lose that release point a little bit, but it was great to see Brad getting back on that heater.
Long run for Yuli, and he's not going to quite get there. And watch out. After the ball bounced into the crowd, Yuli and Springer almost collided.
Yeah, let's not do that.
And now they're probably joking about it. I thought you were easing up.
Just unnatural to run that far.
Right. Chris Davis, the batter, with an 0-1 count. Well, I'm glad to have you back, Lawrence.
It's always good to be back. I'm sorry I bailed on you.
I got
sometimes the urge.
Treehouse is very understandable. Another long run, although Springer doesn't have to go very far. He's in the crowd. Oh, we wanted to try some different things while we were on the West Coast, part of our Astros After Dark. Never know what you're going to see.
I could get used to that.
Zip line?
Checking out the local pubs in the ballpark.
That's a good theme for you.
Yeah. I mean, if I have to.
If you have to, twist your arm. We'll be out here a bunch, not just Oakland, obviously, but playing the NL West this year. We'll make a 4th return visit to the Bay Area. Not far from where you played your college baseball.
Yeah, spend a lot of time up the road here. Quick BART ride up into Berkeley.
So 4 visits this year, 3 against the A's and 1 against the Giants. Astros will play the Angels 3 times in Anaheim and then also play the Dodgers this year. Our normal 3 trips to Seattle. We've already been out the West Coast, sort of, in the Mountain Time zone with Phoenix. So we got a lot of late nights on the schedule this year as Bregman on 2 hops. Devo retires the side in the 8th. The bullpen's retired all 9 they have faced. We head to the 9th. It's 4-2 Astros.
Stropel, thanks for voting and thanks for tweeting with us tonight on Twitter Tuesday. What's the most impressive individual performance by an Astros player this season? These 2 happening on this road trip. Garrett Cole's going to win. Not by much, though, 55% to 45%. Both incredible performances, though. TK.
Yeah, you could have flipped a coin. You know, that was a really tough call. They were both incredibly impressive. Both very rare.
That's a great Stropel right
yeah,
there.
one of the best of the year.
Man.
That'll be tough to top that one. That was 2 incredible performances that you could go your whole lifetime and not see again.
And a big thanks to all the fans that voted in. Over 1,100 of you getting in on there on the action. That was beautiful.
Good stroke pole gets a good response as Brian McCann leads off the top half of the 9th inning, facing a new pitcher for the A's. It's Santiago Casilla. '37-year-old right-hander, and McCann just reaches out and punches one into left for a base hit. McCann's on base for the 2nd time tonight. That's his first hit. He was also hit by a pitch and scored a run.
That'll help the batting average and the OBP for those catchers. It's good to see Brian McCann just kind of touching it the other way to get on base, get things going here. Leadoff man on, and Casilla has got plenty of saves in the Bay Area under his belt. Back with the Oakland A's, throwing 93 miles an hour. Has a changeup, curveball, slider. Astros would like to tack on as many more runs as they can.
Astros down in this game 2-1 until they scored 2 in the 5th inning. Jake Marisnick was a big part of that 5th inning. He doubled to the wall and left. Brian McCann went from 1st to 3rd on that play, and then George Springer doubled them both home. All that coming with 2 outs. Ken Giles warming up in the Astros bullpen in this 4-2 game. Jake 1 for 3 with that double and run scored. Late time called by the home plate umpire Doug Eddings as Casilla was about to deliver. A couple people on Twitter, Blummer, curious if you actually got to finish that game of pool. Did you win, or did you?
I'm good enough that I finished it that quick and took 20 bucks from the guy that put it on the table. Hey,
gone. You got a lot done.
Playing with fire.
You got a lot done in an inning.
I was solids, in case anybody was wondering.
1-1 to count to Jake. In the air to right field. Piscotti is there and puts it away for out number 1. Julia, what do you have for us?
George Springer coming up here. Yesterday we saw him go deep, 3-run shot for his 107th career home run. Do you remember the first ever Springer dinger in the show? It was on this date back in 2014. Look at the 24-year-old George right there. He'd gotten called up in April. We were in Detroit. And hit that one off Drew Smiley. And there were a lot of Springer dingers that would follow. That was the first.
Looks so young.
I interviewed him after that game.
That was awesome.
Did you know after the first interview that he was going to be a great interview? Or did he get better each year?
Oh, he got better each year, but he had the personality from the first day he showed up. And what was fun about that home run is we had heard so much about him, and we were watching his stats every night because he was going off in the minors for years. We could not wait to get him into the big leagues. And then that first one was so much fun. And then, of course, he's the George Springer we've seen today, hitting some big homers and some pretty big games for the Astros.
Yeah, 8 hits already in this series, 6 of them last night. Batting for the 5th time tonight, he's 2 for 4. His 2 RBI double in the 5th, the difference in this game with the Astros leading 4-2.
Well, in 2013-14, when Julie and I started this job, you know, they were thin years for the big league club, so we focused a lot on the minor league ball club and drafts and things like that. But George Springer, we were watching almost 40-40 type seasons from George before we got to the big leagues, and it was incredible to see the progress he made, and then bringing that style of play and talent here to the big leagues has been an absolute blessing for Astro fans.
Pitch gets all the way past Maxwell, and McCann will advance to second base on the wild pitch.
Man, that was a big home run, laying everything into it on the biggest stage in baseball in that World Series off Brandon Morrow. And if you remember, the reason he took out so much anger on that baseball was because previously in that inning, let a ball get by him on a diving catch he tried to make and didn't do it. But man, talent, desire, dedication to the game, George literally has it all.
He'd like to add a tack-on run here for the Astros, give a little more insurance. Currently a 2-run lead. 2-0 count, runner in scoring position, and now it's 3-0. George looks down only briefly because he knows Gary Pettis will have the green light for him here. Single and a double tonight, following 4 singles, a double, and a home run last night. Ball 4. George on base for the 3rd time tonight. And there's 2 on with 1 out.
It's time to name that Astro, brought to you by Nissan. Earlier in the game, we told you 1 is not the loneliest number. Not family tree house, but family tree. And there's an Indians connection. Who am I?
Number 27.
Garrett Cole.
Jose
There's some people off there.
Altuve.
Number 1 overall pick in 2011. Married to Amy Crawford, sister to San Francisco's shortstop Brandon Crawford and college teammate of Trevor Bauer. Everybody's favorite.
And by everybody, you mean everybody but the Astros?
In Cleveland.
I got you.
Yeah, sorry,
Yes.
I should have clarified. In Cleveland.
Here's Jose Altuve. 2 on and 1 out. Altuve's hit the ball hard 4 times tonight. Only has 1 hit to show for it. That was a single his last time up when Blummer was on his way to the treehouse.
What happened?
He had a single to left.
You didn't fill out my scorecard?
Yeah, I did. It's right there.
Oh, thanks, dude.
Yep. I don't write it the same way you do, so it's hard to understand.
That's yeah, your writing is much clearer than mine.
No, hey, we're going to have a scoring show at some point where we'll teach you how to score games.
Yeah, we got to do that again. That was a good time.
And we definitely have 2 different scoring styles, but I tried to fill it in the way you would. There's a called strike. 1-1 to Altuve. Altuve has lined to center, flied out deep to left, flied out deep to right on a very nice play by Stephen Piscotty. And then the single to left. .103, 103, and 102.5 on the 3 outs. Swings through that pitch. 1-2. Altuve is not going to believe in this exit velocity stuff.
No, he's going to tell us that it's absolutely overrated.
Because he gets all his hits on low exit velocity.
He's been middle of the road his entire career on exit velocity and racks up 200+ hits a year. And now he's hitting rockets all over the place and has nothing to show for it.
That one bounces in there, and McCann thought about an advancement, but Maxwell didn't let it get too far away.
Some command issues in this inning for Casilla. It's a great call by Utah Astro. He was the beginning. Altuve already here, and he was waiting for some help, and the cavalry showed up.
Loved Altuve's reaction to Georgia's 6-hit night. That just made me smile. He couldn't have been happier when Julia interviewed him last night along with others to describe Georgia's 6-hit night. Is that typical? I mean, just pure Altuve, Julia?
Yeah, that's Altuve. I said earlier, I mean, he does not enjoy talking about himself, and he's always doing something great, so we're always asking about his great nights. But to ask him about one of his teammates and someone that he really, really does care for and loves and thinks so highly of in George, that for him to gush over him like that and just have the moment where it was so genuine was really cool to see.
Upstairs, Casilla walks another. Now the bases are loaded. Back-to-back walks issued by Santiago Casilla. And the bases are loaded for Carlos Correa. A little mound visit prior to that. Coming out of the dugout is the pitching coach, Scott Emerson.
Casilla's a veteran, so probably just a reminder to get back to some of the basics that they work on as far as repeating that release point, because right now it's kind of eluded him a little bit. We've seen some fastballs missing wildly to the glove side, getting to the backstop, and some curveballs being snapped out in front of home plate. Or he could be mentioning that he's glad that he's not pitching anymore and he's the pitching coach because the base is loaded and Carlos Correa is
not fun.
Not fun at all.
Number 1, Carlos Correa.
Correa bats with the bases loaded. 71 career home runs for Correa, still looking for his first grand slam. Astros would settle for an extra run or two here in this 2-run game. Correa coming in with 25 RBIs, leading the team in that category. McCann on third, Springer on second, Altuve on first. Pop up on the infield, and the infield fly rule is invoked at the last second as Olsen makes the catch for out number 2. So Correa retired and the bases remain loaded.
Number 10,
Set up for that
Yuli
fastball in
Gurriel.
and got all up in the kitchen of Carlos Correa.
Now it's up to Yuli Gurriel. Astros driving in 3 of their 4 runs tonight with 2 outs. Yuli has a double and a single his last 2 at bats, overall 2 for 4. Breaking ball bounces up there. It's 1-0. Yuli having a good road trip. He is batting .450. He's 9 for 20. Those are pretty good numbers with the bases loaded.
Wasn't it Miami?
Yep.
Where he hit that seed into the bullpen in left field or into the Clevelander.
Pretty close.
Man, that was a rocket for that grand slam.
Pretty close to the club out there and left at Marlins Park. Yeah, that ball didn't get more than 15, 20 feet up in the air at any point.
Yeah, I think you remember you telling me they had to move the Miami bullpen to the other side
Yeah.
because of that club out there.
A little bit of distractions out there for the home team. Casilla takes his time with this 1-0 count, and there's a strike call. McCann, base hit to left field. George walked. Altuve walked. Astros with 12 more hits tonight after a 20-hit performance in the first game of the series. Up and in, almost hits Yuli, and his helmet goes flying. He's got out of the way of that pitch.
Pena wasn't happy about that. It was a breaking ball that got away from Casilla. That ball jumps out of the hand as a hitter and you see that coming towards your head. Yeah, you're going to bail. Can't contain the Pena.
Yuli back in there with a 2-1 count.
He is looking for a heater up, out over the plate that he can drive.
In the air to right field, playable. Piscotty is there. Astros will leave the bases loaded in the 9th. We head to the bottom half of the 9th inning. A's will have their 5, 6, 7 hitters due. TNT Sportsnet is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. And by Arctic. Overbuilt, not overpriced. Astros trying to win 3 out of the first 5 on this road trip. They won the opener in Arizona, lost the next 2, and trying to take the first 2 here in Oakland. 4-2 game as we head to the bottom half of the 9th inning. Astros out hitting the A's 12-5, and they will call on Ken Giles to finish this game out.
Ken Giles on to finish this game off. Bullpen's done a great job. Pitched in that New York Yankees series, but on to get some more punch outs. The command of the fastball is a big key for Ken Giles. If he can come out there and pump 100 miles an hour and stay on the edges of that strike zone to get ahead of these athletic hitters, it will do that much better of a job of setting up that slider that he has.
Trying for a bounce back outing after he pitched 1 week ago last Tuesday. Allowed 4 runs in a third of an inning against the Yankees after a brilliant 8 innings from Justin Verlander. Facing Matt Olson, Matt Chapman, and Chad Pinder. 5, 6, 7 hitters in the A's lineup. Olson 0 for 3 tonight. Chapman 0 for 3 tonight. And Pinder 0 for 3 tonight. Giles ahead of the count 0-2.
That's what I'm talking about. You've got that great fastball and you're able to throw strikes with it. Dare these hitters to make contact and fight their way on. If they don't, then you get ahead like Ken Giles is right now, 0-2. Take command of the AB with that extremely firm to quite firm fastball.
Slider misses inside, 1-2.
Pretty good location on that slider. Staying on the inside, there's really no chance for Olson.
Going into that September series last year where the A's swept the Astros of a 4-game set. The Astros had won 10 in a row prior to that in the Oakland Coliseum. Now trying to get back on the winning streak and try and win their 2nd in a row against Bob Melvin's A's. Years ago today, Bob Melvin was replaced as the manager of the Arizona Diamondbacks by A.J. Hinch. Now they are in opposite dugouts in this 4-2 game. Pinder will hit 3rd in this inning. Swing and a miss. Giles strikes out Matt Olson at 97 miles an hour for the first out of the 9th.
That's what you like. Fastballs to get ahead early, throw out a couple sliders, and then race that fastball past the hitter. Nicely done getting that leadoff hitter out to start this inning for Ken Giles.
Prior to that outing against the Yankees a week ago, Giles had gone 7 straight outings where he was perfect. He did not allow a base runner for 7 straight games, the longest streak in club history, as he misses to Chapman 1-0. Chapman's grounded out twice and struck out. McCullers for 5. He allowed 2 runs. 5 hits, 4 walks, struck out 3. Peacock for 2 perfect innings as Giles gets the slider over. It's 1-1. Chris Davinsky a 1-2-3-8. And now Giles trying to finish it off in the 9th. That ball is a rocket past Carlos Correa in the left field for a base hit. Chapman laced that one for a single, his first hit of the game. He's a 1-out base runner, and the A's will bring the tying run to the plate.
Chapman was only getting ready for 1 pitch. That was it. He's sitting on that heater from Ken Giles. Got one, squared it up, no big deal. Just move on to that next hitter if you're Ken Giles. That's the interesting thing about being a closer is the mentality. I was on radio earlier today back in Houston talking about some of the closers I've been able to be around. I've been able to be around two of the greatest, I believe, Trevor Hoffman being one and Billy Wagner being another. And those guys, the mentality of those guys and the ability to move on from hitter to hitter, inning to inning, or appearance to appearance is what separated, I think, them from some of the average closers to the great closers, being able to understand what they did wrong when they lost games and forgetting about it, just moving on and getting on to that next game and trusting in their stuff. And I think that's where Ken Giles could really do things good, by trusting in his stuff.
Bregman to Altuve, double play ends it. Astros win 4-2 as they take the first two games of this three-game series from the A's. Giles gets the ground ball double play off the bat of Pinder to end it. And 3 of the 4 runs knocked in with 2 outs tonight. As the Astros win it, Lance McCullers gets the win, Ken Giles the save, and we will have more from Rickey Henderson Field at the Oakland Coliseum after this.
Street,